Right, what we have here is cave painting, and we're going to make some paint and then we're going to draw some shapes and paint them. So what you're going to need first is you're going to need some brushes, spoon, wood glue, some sand. I've chosen some nice red sand, some charcoal taken from the fireplace, or braai, a bowl of water, and then obviously you need to have made some sketches of your favorite animals. They don't necessarily have to be bison for this exercise. I've drawn frogs, crocodiles, cows, some more cows, and if we look through here we can see one. I think what we'll do today is an elephant, a shark. Let's see if there's a cow. Let me see if we can find a nice elephant. There's a nice rat. The rat is quite tempting. So maybe we can do the rat. Alright, so the first thing to do would be to take the charcoal and just try and sketch your rat on. Don't worry if you make mistakes, you can always correct them when you come to paint, or you can correct them if they're really bad by erasing. You don't have to draw on this laminated wood. I think it gives quite a nice effect. And change the tail, let it just curl around. You can also paint on Slasto or card, depending on which one you prefer. Okay, so we've got a nice little rat, and so that's basically would be our composition. And the next phase would be to make your various colors that you're going to work with. So I'm going to start with black. If I just take the charcoal, take the spoon, crush it into the mortar. In this case, I'm going to try and get it really nice and fine. Put the rest of the charcoal just over here. Okay, take this and get it in here. And obviously this would become your black. So it'll have impurities. Try and get it as smooth as possible, particularly the paint that you're going to work with. Okay, and I'll just put some glue in. Just a tablespoon of wood glue, mix it about. Get rid of those bumps once again. It's nice and smooth. That should be alright. Take our water, add a little bit of water, and stir it up again. So you're getting now a little bit of paste. More watery, so you mix as much water as you want, a little bit at a time, until you get the consistency of the paint that you're going to use if you want. Glue will start to bind the elements together. A little bit more watery. Nice. Something nice, your own paint. You've made up from the charcoal. Okay, now we can take our brush. We can start painting it on, and you can put it on quite thick, granular. The glue will help it stick. Keep referring back to my drawing. Of course it's going to be like a cave art, to be honest. It's not going to be too perfect. Guidelines. Obviously the more layers you put on, the darker it will get. You can see now we're starting to get the colours. You can also add a bit of tone, 3D to it. That will give us a various colour. Now I've also got some nice red sand that I've dug up from outside, and once again it's the same process. I'll take the spoon, wash it, crush it down with sand, get it as fine as possible, don't want any large lumps. Add the wood glue, standard heavy duty wallpaper glue is quite nice to use. Water. And we should get a nice reddish mud. Because I'm working on a reddish wooden board already, so it's not going to stand out as much as if it was on white paper. It still should look quite nice. Take the red and we can start applying it to our rat. Notice it's a little bit granular paint, which is fine, gives you a bit of texture, and in places I can let the natural wood show through as well, just add to the effect. Now I'm going to work a bit into the background, get a consistency. Everything is quite general, your lines have to be quite bold and your shapes are generally treated as flat. So you need to look at the shapes that you're going to be drawing and you get quite a nice effect. As you can see, there's a red paint made up from red mud. We can now go over with a bit of black again, so you can work your way up. If I had charcoal that you bought in a shop and ground that up, nice soft charcoal, the black would be much blacker. This was just wood that had been burnt in a fire, and I just got what was left over from the fire after the wood had been burnt to make this black chalk, this black paint. Right, so there we're looking at it, you can see the textures, and what's also quite nice, if you're looking for some white, is if you get white chalk, just normal chalk from the classroom. And if you take the chalk and you just grind it up, the same kind of process, you can also get white, which will add a nice effect to your drawing. So again, just make sure you crush it nice and smooth. The secret is to spend a bit of time really crushing the stuff as fine as possible. Add a bit of wood glue. Add the proportion of wood glue to the amount that you're making. Some water. And stir it up. And the white is quite nice for highlights throughout our drawing. starts mixing nicely with the wet brown and black, because it's still wet, because it's wet quite quickly. And once you try 2 or 3 or 4 of these, not just one, to see how you develop over as you practice with the medium. Obviously the first time is going to be very difficult, but as you work with the medium you'll find that it gets easier. Also give it time sometimes to dry, so maybe overnight, and the next day come back and rework a surface, or rework it, and see what happens on the reworking. Using quite expressive line work, gesture, actually see where the lines are going. See the brush marks. Right. Another trick is to use a palette knife. If you want to make a more textured surface, which is quite nice as well. Some texture onto the background with our mudded lab. Palette knife isn't available, so I'm going to just use the spoon to create this texture. Flat, quite a bit of texture around it. Get to use your hands, the glue washes off quite easy. And there we have my cave art. Nice.